Fast and Furious disrespected Han before bringing him back, and now Fast and Furious 11 is about to do something even worse. Han came back from the dead in F9, which retconned the character's demise with the help of Mr. Nobody and a hologram. Fast and Furious tradition of resurrecting characters would continue in Fast X, which brought back Giselle. Fast X's ending set up a team-up between Giselle, Letty, and Cypher, the last of which had to work with Toretto's team following the arrival of Dante Reyes. Fast X's cast was quite large and included multiple returning names, from villains like Cypher to heroes like Hobbs. The movie even included a brief moment between Shaw and Han, which concluded the "Justice for Han" fix that began in F9. Although Fast and Furious eventually made things right regarding Han, the franchise made a major mistake with the character in The Fate of the Furious, one that could happen again in the upcoming Fast and Furious 11. The Fate of the Furious disrespected Han with Shaw's redemption. Shaw shouldn't have been welcomed at Toretto's barbecue. Toretto and Shaw at the end of The Fate of the Furious. The Fate of the Furious third act included the Shaw brothers showing up at the last minute to rescue Dominic Toretto's son. Jason Statham's Deckard Shaw killing Cypher's men as he protected a baby is one of the most hilarious scenes in the Fast and Furious franchise and one of the highlights of the 8 installments. However, as fun as it was to see Shaw saving Dom's baby, the redemption of Statham's character happened way too fast. By the end of the movie, Shaw was hanging around with Toretto's family and participating in their barbecue. The Fate of the Furious final scene made it seem like everyone, including Dom, had forgotten that Deckard Shaw killed Han, or at least believed he killed Han. The fact that Han faked his death in Fast and Furious is a retcon that only came to be in F9, meaning that, during the Fate of the Furious, Shaw was still Han's murderer. Seeing Shaw become part of the family after what he did in Furious 7 was an insult to Han's character and sparked the "Justice for Han" fan campaign that would be answered in F9. Fast X set up Cypher's redemption in Fast and Furious 11, despite Elena's death. Will Cypher be redeemed despite having killed Elena? Fast and Furious Han disrespect could happen again, this time with Elena. In The Fate of the Furious, Cypher had Elena killed in front of Dominic Toretto. Dom had to watch powerless as the mother of his child was shot in front of him in one of the darkest scenes in the franchise. Although Cypher was not the one to pull the trigger, she was to blame for Elena's death and enjoyed doing so. Unlike Dwayne Johnson's Luke Hobbs or Jason Statham's Deckard Shaw, Cypher wasn't redeemed in her next appearance, but she could be in Fast 11. Fast X teased Cypher's redemption by making her into one of Dante Reyes' targets. Perhaps the easiest way of redeeming a previous villain is to introduce an even more dangerous bad guy, which is exactly what Fast X's opening sequence did. Dom and Letty may not have trusted Cypher, but they eventually had to focus their attention on Dante. Cypher and Letty were later kidnapped and had to stage a fight so that they could escape. Fast X ends with Cypher and Letty escaping, followed by the return of Giselle. What will happen to Cypher in Fast and Furious 11? Cypher shouldn't become part of Dom's family. Blended image of a sword Cypher and Dom in the Fast and Furious series. Cypher, Letty, and Giselle are in Antarctica by the end of Fast X, suggesting they will work together in Fast and Furious 11. With Dante Reyes teaming up with his brother to finish their revenge against Toretto, it is too late for Cypher to be a villain again. Even if there is still bad blood between her and the family, it is safe to say she will be on the hero's side in Fast 11. While this makes sense given the circumstances, it could mean that Cypher will be redeemed like Shaw and Jacob were.